All right. So this is gonna be the final session for the quote unquote Dark Sun campaign, since the guys are gonna abandon the official campaign that they started in. So they started in Dark Sun, but for whatever reason they don't follow through on what they're supposed to do. But that's them. That's the guys completely just ruining my campaign, which they often do, which is fine, not a problem. All right, so the guys have made a deal. They've helped Strahd. They've they got Miss Lisa von Zarovich back. He's basically just going to taunt her, or maybe just put her in a bricked coffin. If you've ever saw the what's that movie, Vampire Diary or whatever, Interview with a Vampire. They wanted to put this guy in a sealed coffin for eternity. Anyway, long story short, the guys are basically leaving the castle of Mr. Strahd. So if you kind of visualize them just leaving the castle, it's gray, stormy, lightning is striking. It starts to, you know, rain a little bit. So they're walking, and all of a sudden, a thick fog kind of surrounds them, you know, and eventually they maybe try to run. I don't think the guys are going to do a big thing about it, because they've sold their souls. They've already told me they're going to sell their souls. So, yeah, that's what they want to do. All right, so the fog surrounds the guys. They're a bit confused as to what's happening, because they're not going to metagame anything, and they all are in sort of this fog, misty fog. There is a voice, a booming voice over their heads. They kind of maybe think, you know, it's the second coming. Well, that's whatever. Anyway, so a booming voice basically mentions or tells them, and I'm horrible with voices, and I wouldn't do it justice, but I do want to mention what they say. So the guys are again enveloped in a mist. It's not bright, but it's not dark, and the booming voices ask them what they want, what their heart desires, and they all voted. Or they can chime in if they want to and say whatever they want. But let me make sure this stream is working. Okay, yeah. So they're basically, what they've mentioned is that they would like Tyr, their beloved land of Tyr, where, well, most of them came from. The British guy might be from somewhere else, but their beloved land of city of Tyr that they basically started off with and tried to save. They want Tyr to be brought into the Ravenloft domain. The guys kind of already know.
Actually,
go ahead. Yes.
was Obsidian born in Tyr even?
I don't. He just kind of came in. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Obsidian.
Yeah, I have the question, because we met you later in the pits.
He doesn't know where he's born. He's an orphan. Probably
see.
was. Yeah.
So I believe that makes Davith the only native of Tyr.
Really?
So he'll scream out back at the booming voice that he wants to save Tyr from the dragon's clutches.
All right, cool. That's a nice dramatic scene. So he's looking up at the sky, thinking he's talking to God, which he's not. And then he, all of a sudden, there's a quietness, and then the mist starts to go away. There's a better word for that. Anyway, the mist starts to go away, and all of a sudden they're surrounded in a desert area. One of the guys knows where he's at. He's just outside the city of Tyr. He sees to the north. Let's go to the big map, because he kind of want to make sure what the hell's going on here. All right, so here's the big map. The guys are basically like, let me put a mark on the map. I'll just put a little dot. All right, so they're right there. To the east, or I'm sorry, to the west, the guys see the city. It's a normal day. It's not, they're back to normal. Dark Sun's got a big, huge flaming sun. Let me turn down the music here. All right, so it's a normal day for the guys that started in. I think only with the guy, one of the guys is from the Dark Sun area. I maybe Silver might be. I'm not exactly sure. And regardless, since they made a deal with the devil, they are now looking at the city of Tyr. To the north, they start to see these undead worms coming from the ground. The guys know well the guy who is native to the Dark Sun. He knows that these are silkworms. I'm sorry, silkworms. They are. They
Were
all
they
look,
usually undead, or is this new?
no, this is new. This is your tortured realm that you're gonna live in forever and ever. Ravenloft is not supposed to be fun. Ravenloft's not supposed to be happy. Ravenloft's supposed to be horrible. All right, so these undead silk worms start to go up and down through the sands, and all of a sudden they start to see arrows coming from the walls of Tyr. One of the worms destroys one of the walls, and all the armies start to go after that one worm. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I just kind of want to see what the guys are going to. The guys are. They're going to be here. I mean, they're technically Dark Lords. I mean, they kind of maybe don't know this, but they're forever.
I never
cursed.
agreed to it.
Yeah, well, I think we had a vote, Silver, and I think we. Am I not right on this? I'm making this story up, and Silver's like not agreeing to the.
Oh no,
ending.
no. I think Silver's character would want to leave to Faerun, or not Faerun, but the like Spelljammer setting.
I can delete
Okay.
this video, and we can start over. Okay.
No,
Because-
the only difference is my character just won't be there.
Yeah, he screamed into the mist something else and was separated from us.
Oh my God, Silver! It's
But that's all right.
D&D is a group thing. God damn it. Anyway, Silver's character is wherever he wants to be. It is-
Wisely, not selling his soul to Satan. Like a
well,
fucking
yeah,
putz.
you could do that, Silver. You not sell your soul and go back to the normal. Well, no, you're kind of screwing. The guys are screwing things up. Anyway, the vote was they outvoted you, Silver. So too bad about that. All right, so they now see that the armies are attacking one of the undead silk worms, and the guys are just watching this. They also see a group of Milok. Let me just, because the guys might know what the hell I'm talking about. Let me just put a couple of these monsters on board so they have an idea of what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so from the distance, you guys do see Kalak. No, I'm sorry, not Kalak. Thythian. Let me put Mr. Thythian, which I cannot pronounce because I have a lisp. But regardless, let me put the guy on the map. This is good. That's him. All right, so he's just kind of watching as the city starts to get attacked by these silkworms. And let me put the Milok on the battle map. And then the guys will, whatever, do whatever it is. Hold your horses, guys. Hold your horses. Let me put the NPCs on the map. All right, so here's Dark Sun. Okay, here are the, I think I have, okay, here's a Milok. So the guys are like, what the hell is a Milok? Jesus. All right, well, it's not working at the moment. God damn it. It's not, oh my God, well, come on. All right, let me try again. It's not letting me put the monsters on the map. Let me try that one more time. All right, well, Founder's giving me problems, but if you watch the video, you kind of maybe know what I'm talking about. Jesus. All right, well, long story short, these undead creatures start to invade the city. The guys are the rulers. They're the quote unquote heroes. They're the Hercules of the campaign. All right, so they can tell me what they want to do because they're immortal. The guys are immortal. They might or might not die, but we're not going to go through all that. But they can put their ideas into what needs to happen, and that's kind of like what we're how we're going to end the campaign because they're immortal. If you guys know anything about Ravenloft, you can't kill Strahd. It's not possible. I can't kill these guys. They sold their souls to these people, and whatever they decide to do, that's them because they're gods technically in the ending of the campaign. So instead of being heroes and saving Tyr, going back to Tyr and being heroes and making it to 20th level, the guys are gonna sell out and sell their souls and kill babies.
I see.
And all that. So
Davith, as one of his long-term goals, would want to re-establish slavery in Tyr and establish order. Would anyone try to stop him from doing this?
No,
Nah.
no.
Slavery, possibly Obsidian.
Yeah.
I mean, like low-key slavery, though. Like, not even chattel slavery. It's just like their
Loki.
servants and their kids aren't even necessarily.
Well, remember, you guys are gods, so
Yeah, it's just that
Obsidian
Davith imagine
and
a stable
Davith.
reality outside of that one.
Oh, okay, it's working now.
Continue an everlasting war.
I see. Yeah, you'll just break some of them out. That's fine.
Oh, okay, it's working now. All right, so these are what I'm talking about. These are Milox. These are undead. You see them again. If you remember the movie Empire Strikes Back, and you had those at walkers. That's
What is
kinda-
that?
The at walkers, the elephant-looking whatchamacallit them.
The AT-ATs that got killed.
Yeah,
by
AT-ATs.
Jawires.
Yeah, where it's, they were in the hot in the snow, and they were about to be attacked by those.
Yeah, it
walkers.
wasn't Return to the Jedi. You're thinking Empire.
Oh, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Empire Strikes Back. But if you remember that scene where the guy's looking through the binoculars and then he sees those AT-ATs coming from the distance, that's what you guys are seeing right now. Not only that, you also see that the walls are being attacked. The guys are technically gods, so they can just say, "All right, well, if this is going to be the end of the campaign, this is what I'm going to do," and then that's going to be it. Because again, these guys I can't kill them. They're Dark Lords. So, all right, well, you guys can fill in the blanks, and then that'll be the end of the Dark Sun campaign, where the guys end up selling their souls to Satan, because that's what they are. They're horrible, horrible players. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. All right. Well, what's the? You guys want to wrap up the story? Again, I'm just giving you the scenario. You guys are like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and we'll live happily ever after, and that'll be it. So, if you guys can fill in the gaps on the ending, and here's the silkworm, guys. This is what I was trying to talk about. Silkworm. All right, and these are the Milox over here on this side.
I take any elves who want to get out of it and fuck off because I wasn't a willing participant.
That's
Well,
good.
Well, your guy has some kind of
I
whatever.
will graciously allow you to seek your fortunes and leave with whatever Vistani baubles or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, do they start showing up?
Well, Uruk is technically attacking you right now, and they're using the silkworms and undead Milox, or undead silkworms. And
Oh, I see. We're being attacked, but now we have the godlike power of the Dark Realm
yeah,
in order
you're
to.
20th level, and I know that you guys. Oh, I'm gonna do a wish spell, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z with my meta magic and X, Y, and Z, and then you'll probably save the city, and then you'll have a big orgy.
I mean, if they have the control the Dark Lords have over Ravenloft, all they
Yeah.
have to do is just wish those people out of existence, and then that's it.
Well,
Yeah, but that's not very dramatic. I think it'd be more fun if we just
you could kill.
started whipping
Strahd.
up a giant, great silt storm that encompassed the whole of the Tyr region,
Just
from the
whip up a
mountains to
giant
the sea.
sandstorm that's so fierce that the very sand flays the flesh off of their bones.
I don't think.
Yeah, and
Strahd
the
is
bones
that
off their
powerful,
bones.
guys. You're taking it up to like.
Well,
Yeah,
but
there's
then
only
they-
one of him. There's numerous of us
Well,
all working together.
well, you have a point. Go ahead. Somebody was saying something else. Was that?
Yeah. We're whipping up the sandstorm to destroy the armies of Uruk and banish them from our lands forever. And at the same time, that is removing Tyr from the lands and turning what used to be there into a scorched nothing.
All right. Well, good fill-in for Mr. Ruth. Obsidian. Do you want?
Obsidian's being a pain in the a
Say it
thorny pain on Ruth's side, freeing slaves.
Well, okay. So he's doing that. Mr. Creed, you want to have an orgy at the end of the night, or what's going on with you?
Nah,
All
I'm
right.
to go a little fun and randomly take people and experiment on them with shadow magics.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you guys know that you could eventually become a dragon. Maybe you might know the history of Dark Sun, but you more than likely would want. Well, it's up to you what you want to do, but you could, if you wanted to, become a dragon in this ending of yours. All right. Well, do we want anything else filled in? Because again, you're going to win the battle. You're probably going to try to be assassinated by your council or your senators, or maybe be killed by your wife. So they've got a bunch of terrible things that are eventually going to happen to them.
Oh, I think we should start rebuilding that ziggurat that Kalik was working on. That was a good idea.
Yeah, we can do that, right? And sacrifice children. Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Right. Well, that sounds like a pretty. That wraps up the campaign. Mr. Obsidian, he's just gonna try to save the. Well, he's gonna try to help the people. Eventually, they're gonna try to backstab him because he's a horrible person. Kree, do you want me to curse you with whatever horrible things that are gonna happen to you eventually, or maybe not?
Go on then.
All right. Well, Kree, what is your thing? You're working at a soup kitchen, or what's your deal? I mean, are you?
Yeah, I'm experimenting on people with shadow magic.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, eventually you create a Frankenstein creature that wants to eventually kill you. So you have that going for you. Maybe some shadows are going to torment you because you created maybe some shadow creature that wasn't, did not agree to your little experiments, and he might or might not hunt you in the the hag world, or no, that would be the gray. I'm sorry, the gray is technically considered the ethereal realm. So yeah, that could probably have maybe a hag type of creature that haunts him in the middle of the night to where he doesn't really get much sleep. Anyway, there's a million ways to torture the guys, and they're dark lords. They're not gonna go away. It's same thing with Strahd. He's not gonna die. They're not gonna die. But I do want to make sure that they understand that they've made a deal with Faustian, bargain with the dark powers, and they have nothing but torment and regret for the rest of their lives here in Ravenloft. All right, so that was somewhat of a dramatic ending. I just want to make sure the guys know that they're going to be cursed forever and ever. They might or might not enjoy it, but that's the end.
Speak for yourself.
Well, okay, they might enjoy it. All right, well, all right. Do we just kind of wanted to wrap up? I wanted to have a final session, because again, the guys did what they're doing. Or does anybody want to fill in anything else, saying, okay, I killed my wife and so on and so forth, or are we done here? I think we might be done.
Sounds
I
like
think
we're
we're
good.
done.
All right. Well, that was the final part of this campaign. I was hoping that the guys would go back and be heroes, but they're horrible, horrible players. They're just
We
What?
did it, everybody. We
Obsidian was
saved
trying to be
you.
heroes.
Obsidian. Well, Obsidian, you're the Judas of the.
Well, you got
campaign.
the old classic saying,
What?
become a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, you just to make sure you guys understand, you're horrible, horrible people. All right. Well.
Let it be known.
You say that like
I
it's a
was
bad thing.
against the Dark Lord plan.
Well, if you. All right. Well, Mr. Silver's character did not agree. He has something else going on. Mr. Silver, I just want to, wrap your character up. What happened to your character?
Oh no, I would have returned to Zarius, which is the homeland of me and Mike's character.
Oh, okay. Is that the heaven that you keep spouting on?
That's around the astral plane.
Oh, okay. All right. So he goes back to that realm. We might or might not eventually talk about that in the future. All right, well, good game, guys. We'll wrap things up. Nice little bow on top. So that's it. I'll go ahead and stop the stream. We'll discuss what we're gonna start a brand new campaign at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna leave it up to the guys to pick whatever they want to do because every time I pick something, they want to sabotage my shit. So I'm like, well, why don't you tell me what you want to do. So
We'll still sabotage it.
well, you're gonna
We
sabotage.
we want a campaign with blackjack and hookers. In fact,
Well, you
forget
have
the campaign.
the guys. You kind of have that here.
And the blackjack is completely optional.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. Well, let me stop the stream, and that is going to be the end of the.
Let the stream be known that the DM wanted to fuck Japanese schoolgirls.
No. I cosplay, sir. Cosplay. All right. Well.
You'd specify over 18 though.
Yeah.
That is a pretty big
there you go.
difference.
All right. Well, the guys are horrible people, and that's the end of the campaign. All right. Let me stop. The
You
stream.
say like this is a new thing.
Okay. All right. I'm going to end the stream. Let's talk about the next game. All right. All right. Well, that was a somewhat anticlimactic and horrible that you guys decided to sell your souls, but whatever.